moving on to a side to side on the ball. Helen's rolling the ball between her shoulder blades basically. So you move it from one shoulder blade to the other. Look at knees 90 degrees, legs 90 degrees, using the core, using the oblique muscles to turn the body and actually roll it through. Okay. So just from a different angle, rolling it from side to side, just keeping the ball between the shoulder blades. And that's a side to side roll on the ball. Okay, what we're doing here is a hip raise on the ball, which is feet placed on the ball, shoulders on the floor, then raise your hips and hold. Okay, moving through this quite quickly. You start with your hands by your side. That's probably the easiest position. You've got to keep those hips nice and high so your whole body's in a nice straight line. To progress that, you can move your hands up above your body, working the core to keep your body up, and keep your feet on the ball, which gets harder and harder. Another progression might be put your hands above your head. And if you want to get really technical, you can start doing bench presses on the floor. But we'll leave that for now. And we'll stop it there. Okay, we're moving on to donkey kicks now. And this is an exercise some people might not have heard of before. And basically you're on all fours with your knees on the floor and your hands on the floor, keeping your back nice and straight. The first exercise is you've got a nice straight leg going out behind you, and you're kicking your leg out behind you. So we start with going 5 kicks straight up, and then we're going to move across and we're going to go 5 kicks slightly wider, and you're almost at 45 degrees. There you go. This really works the glutes, the lower back, and works those hip muscles as well. Excellent. Okay, we're moving on to a wide squat. Now before, when we had a narrow squat, the feet were nice and close together. Now this time the feet are actually wider than the shoulders, and you're still going down as low as you can, getting a nice big knee bend, but your feet are firmly on the floor. There's no heel raise. It's bend all the way down, keeping your feet flat on the floor. And again, just watching the back, trying to keep that back nice and straight as we do the exercise. Excellent. Okay, the next exercise we're going to do is crunches, and this is one of the hardest exercises, but it's really, really good for the core muscles. And Helen's going to demonstrate. She's going to do maybe a few reps to start with, but it's all about control. It's all about bringing the knees into the tummy into the knees at the same time. So it's a cross between a sit-up and using your legs as well, but you're using your core to control it. We'll not make Helen do more than 10. We'll stop there. Okay, moving on to a back raise on the ball. Now for this one, we start with the ball underneath us. So you've got everything sort of draped over the ball. And then we're going to move ourselves so your hands beside the side of your head, and you're going to raise your back. Now this exercise is done nice and slowly. Anything involving the back is slow. It's not a rush, it's not a race. You're better off doing 3 reps that are really, really good instead of 15 reps where you're straining your back muscles. So it's nice and easy, going all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up.
This one's easier on carpet, or with your feet against something.
As Helen's feet slide away from her. One more, there we go. Okay, we're doing leg raises. Okay, this exercise you need a mat underneath you, just for comfort more than anything else, or to do it on carpet. And what we're doing here is just raising the leg in a nice straight action. Okay, but you're raising it using your core muscles. You're not raising it using the hamstrings or the quads. You're trying to use your core muscles to lift the leg up. And if you note, Helen's toes are nice and pointed straight up towards the ceiling. Okay, the other leg is nice and relaxed. We're going to move on to moving it to a side now. And this is still a leg raise, but you just turned your toes out to the side, so that your toes are pointing to one side or the other. And that's just working slightly more of the inside of the leg rather than just the core. It's all these little muscles that we often forget when we're doing exercises such as running and cycling. You just don't think about them. Okay, rolling onto the side a little bit now. This one's a leg raise on the side, and this one is really important, especially for the blokes, to really control the exercise. We have a tendency just to let the leg go up and down. If you really control it, it's actually really hard to keep your leg in a straight line. And that's good. Okay, this is Helen's favourite exercise. This is press-ups using the ball. Okay, if you notice, she's got the ball basically where her knees are. All right. If you notice the press-up, she does go all the way down. Her back's nice and straight. It's all the way down to the floor and all the way back up. All the way down to the floor, all the way back up. And keeping that back straight. To progress this, just move the ball further back. Move the ball further back. And the further back it is, the harder it is. Excellent. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a squat thrust with the ball. And basically roll the ball towards you using your core muscles and then roll it away pretty much using your glutes. Okay, so it's all about control. It's all about quality, not quantity in terms of this exercise. Excellent. Alright, just for a bit of fun at the end of our sessions, what we try and do is try and balance on the ball. This is excellent for core, and to start off with, we need to be in this sort of position. So your knees are on the ball, predominantly using most of the balance, then using your hands to balance. You can progress this by doing what Helen's about to do now, hopefully, which is to try and balance on the ball. Okay? And that's a really good demonstration. You can progress it again by getting her to put her arms above her head, like so, and still holding the balance on the ball. No, she's really not touching the wall, that looks like it is here. And then, Helen, the next progression for this would be for Helen to try and stand on the ball, and then you start getting really technical. I actually only know 2 people that can actually stand on the ball, so don't expect to be able to stand on the ball. If you do stand on the ball, make sure you've got a crash mat next to you. Well done.